Hello, today we're going to do a review of the Cultural Background Study Bible. This is an NIV study Bible. It's bringing to life the ancient world of Scripture. This is by Zondervan. And so here are some of the features. So this is a full text of the most read, most trusted modern English Bible, the new NIV, the New International Version. There's targeted book introductions that explain the context in each book of the Bible. And insight and informative verse-by-verse study notes reveal new dimensions of insight to even the most popular passages. The key Old Testament Hebrew words and New Testament terms are explained and expanded upon in two helpful reference features. Over 300 in-depth articles on key contextual topics. 375 full-color photos, illustrations, and images from around the world. Dozens of charts, maps, and diagrams in vivid order. The words of Jesus in red. Type size is 8.9 for the text. So see the cultural background behind every story, even the ones you know by heart. So there's the ISBN number. So this is the dust jacket. So we'll take that off. I'll show you what it looks like without it. I don't even know if I looked at it without that. So this is what it looks like. So it's like a brownish reddish color. And so you have the introduction, and it's a little bit stuck there. The cultural start guide, the quick start guide, table of contents, maps and charts, how to use the Bible, this Bible, the authors. So it's John H. Walton, Craig S. Keener, and then you have abbreviations, Hebrew to English translation chart. And then you have ancient texts, information about ancient texts relating to the Old Testament. And then you have Old Testament chronology. And then you go into the Old Testament. So you have a major background of issues from ancient Near East. And then you have the Torah, God establishes his covenant. And then you have the introduction to Genesis. So you have date and author, literary setting, key concepts, and then you get into the text. It is a 2-column text with the cross references in the middle, and then the notes have 2-column text as well. And then you can see here you have like different articles throughout. And so the notes, you can see here another couple articles. So we'll read one for example. So it's Genesis 1:29. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, every tree that has fruit with seed in it, they will be yours for food. And so the note is yours for food. So when people are created in other ancient Near East narratives, it is for the purpose of performing all the menial tasks necessary for providing food for the gods. God as the only one providing food for people, rather than the other way around, and is not absent from the other ancient Near East accounts, but the theme occupies a more central role here in Genesis. So it kind of takes what they thought in other cultures and those who believed in other gods, what they believed, and then compares it to how that is different from the Bible and from the true God of the universe. Talks about rest, image, and likeness. So this one is more, again, it's that cultural background. It's trying to help us with the context that we often miss because we are in the, 21st century, and this was written long, long ago. You can see some of the text, like paper, is definitely not like the best quality, but it's a good information here. Lots of notes. And then we can go to the New Testament. And Jesus' words are in red. And so you can see lots of pictures and lots of images, lots of charts. And the font size is nice to read, and also the font size for the text is not so bad either. It's pretty big. So I always appreciate that. So it talks about Jewish sects, so it kind of gives you some background. So this can really help with getting that background when you're studying. Here's an introduction to Mark. And some of the notes. And then we can look at the back of the book, of the Bible. And so we have the index of the articles that are in here. So lots of articles. And concordance. And we got some maps. Index to the maps. Okay. And so that is the Cultural Background Study Bible. This is the NIV version. So thank you for watching and have a good day.